Hi, friends. Hello, friends. Welcome back to my channel. Chelsea Colley here, and I just did a video about the claims of Pascal Najati, and I'm going to go ahead and just do this other video. While I have a moment, I'm going to try to get this done. I wasn't prepared to do this. I rarely have time to do a video, and I have about 20 minutes right now, so I'm going to try and do this really quick, but I have my notes here. I wasn't necessarily prepared, so, forgive me if it is a little confusing as I go through this. But I just wanted to get this done so I can just have this done out there and over with. And so I can just move on because I've spent a lot of time over the last month looking at this, and I've talked to Stephen a couple times, and I've listened to a lot of interviews. Like I listened to, Kerry's, and then I listened to Captain Kyle's, and then I listened to David Nino's this morning, and I'm kind of over it. With the whole Pascal of it all. But I do appreciate him for, the awakening that he's bringing, and he is like justifying or trying to, solidify some of these claims that have been made, like about the arrests and stuff like that. So he is bringing a lot of good information, and I do want to thank him for that. And I do want to say, Pascal, in no way is this an attack on you. It's just more of an FYI to the people of what's being said, and I'm not like coming at you in any way. I'm just a citizen trying to share some things that I think could be concerning. So, this is an intro. For my intro, I'll say I'm going to go ahead and talk about the Kerry Cassidy Pascal interview. I recommend you watch it. And if you don't want me to just like ruin the whole thing for you, you may want to stop this now and go watch it. You can look under my community tab. I shared the interview with Kerry and Pascal a couple days ago, so it's on there, but it's on her YouTube channel and it's on her Rumble channel, Project Camelot. So I recommend you watch the video, and if you want to watch this one first, that's fine. I do recommend you watch the whole video after you finish this so you can get the full view. Like I took notes, but you have to watch the whole thing to understand like how much tension there was. And I don't want to tell anybody what to believe. I try to, as much as I can, like keep my opinions out of it, but it is my channel and it is my, what I'm creating here. So yes, my opinion is going to be in here, but I'm not telling anybody what to believe. I'm just encouraging people to ask questions. Like I said before, I'm not claiming to have the answers. I'm just asking the questions. So I do recommend you watch the whole video, whether that's like right now or after you get done with this video. And it was like pretty tension filled. And Kerry seemed kind of upset from the beginning. Like she seemed irritated because he had trouble logging in. Um, and there's a lot of people that, said Kerry was too harsh with him and she should have let him speak more, which I can see that side. And then I can also appreciate Kerry for being combative in a way, because Pascal's had a lot of interviews with a lot of different people. He's made big claims about being an anti-Semite and being against the Jews and that all the Jews should go. And I absolutely don't agree with that. And I haven't seen an interviewer challenge him in the way that Kerry has. So I do also think that like I can see both sides. Like I'm not on Kerry's side, but I do, as far as the Jew thing, I do agree with her on that. And I don't think that you can just advocate for the destruction of a whole sect. So I'm gonna go over some of my notes. But yeah, so he claims to be an irregular, we're talking about Pascal Najati, You can follow his channel. The only channel that he runs, he says, is Neutral Swiss on Rumble. And he used to be a former a filmmaker. And so he claims that all those videos on Neutral Swiss, like he makes himself. So a regular military force member of Space Force. Now she tries to ask him if somebody hired him, and he said no. So she made the assumption that he was self-appointed. I don't know if that's accurate according to Pascal, but she said he was self-appointed because she asked him if somebody hired him and he said no. He did bring up John a lot. He brought up JFK Jr. He had already brought it up like 3 times, like a few, after a few minutes into the interview, after they went through all of his father stuff, which he claims like his father did not know about the evil, and that's not why he left. Like he did not know about the cabal a few years ago, Pascal says. But he says his father left because it changed so much. It used to be a small thing, like less than 50 people and no media. And then it evolved into this huge thing and media. And his father was like, this is not what I signed up for. Because his father was like one of the people that like founded the WEF. Or at least that's allegedly. So he did say that he was in touch with John. That was the 3rd time that he brought it up. And I thought it was interesting that he called him John. So if he's really friends with somebody, would you call them by their 3-year-old name? But when asked about 107, he said, quote, Juan is a smart guy. Everything he says is true about 107. Okay, so I think a lot of us know that 107 is highly misinformation. Like a lot of what he says is misinformation for a reason, and misinformation is necessary. So the fact that he says Juan is a smart guy, everything he says is true. I'm not sure how to feel about that, but I'll let you guys, interpret that how you want. When asked if 107 is JFK Jr., he says he doesn't go there, and then he changes subject with 107, and then he says that I wouldn't say that, that's a military secret. So it seems like he was saying that he was JFK, but he said I wouldn't go there, that's a military secret. So he also said, as I mentioned in the last video, I was the guy Thor. I was the guy Thor. Those were his exact words. I was the guy Thor. So he claims he was Valiant Thor, and Kerry says that he's not. She does not believe that. But yeah, if you were the guy Thor, wouldn't you know your own name? Wouldn't you know your name was Valiant Thor? He said, so he has a very confusing way, of talking. He said, they got in touch with me. I will not say who they is. He says that he's from the Blue Gemini Project. He said to look this up. I didn't get a chance to look up the Blue Gemini Project. So if anybody does, put it in the comments below. We can talk about that. He says this watch is from 1947. And he says that's when the Air Force was formed. I'm going to make sure. Hold on one second here. Yeah, we're good. I just want to make sure we're live. Okay. Yeah, so he said that's when the Air Force was formed, SSP 47. So he claims to be part of this secret space program, Blue Gemini Project. But then he's like condemning aliens and saying that people should be for being an alien. So he just contradicts himself a lot. He said, Blue Gemini Project, you can look it up. He said when he was the guy Thor, Valiant Thor, talking to Eisenhower, that Eisenhower didn't want to do it. He didn't want to come after these people. But Valiant Thor also briefed Kennedy, and Kennedy was the one who did do something about it. So it's interesting that he's claiming to be all these people. He's Pascal, he's Kennedy, and he's Valiant Thor. Also, he says that he is part of the Anastasia bloodline that has something to do with his name. He didn't go into much depth there. He says he doesn't give any secrets. He doesn't take any donations or sell any products. He says anything that denies our humanity and wants to kill us will be executed. He says they are aliens. They need to be killed. Those are quotes. They are aliens. And then he said they need to be killed. And then Kerry is asking, so then he's talking about the Jews and he's saying that they all need to go. Kerry is asking, okay, well, how would you go about that? Would you give them a DNA test? And he says, there is no Jewishness. It doesn't exist. It's a cult. It's a sect. Now, this part I believe is actually true. You know, there's parts of what he's saying that it's actually true. Like the Khazarian mafia took over the Jews, and but he's not making the distinction between the Khazarian mafia and the Jews. He's just saying all of them need to go. Just like he's saying all of the politicians need to go. All of the Masons need to go. All of them. I don't necessarily agree with that. We can't just do away with all these groups of people. Like only the evil ones, only the satanic ones, only the ones that are, you know, hurting children, that are like participating in these rituals. Those are the ones that need to go. But no, we're not going to advocate for a whole group of people to be eliminated. Like that's just not right. That's discrimination. And then he says, what did the Jews do good? No, fuck them. Get rid of them all. Those were his words, not my words. He said, give me one example of something good that they did. He said they put humans in the McDonald's. They put human meat in the McDonald's. And that came out by a rabbi like years and years ago. So yes, that is true. And then so as he's advocating for these people, Kerry called him out and she said, you sound insane. You sound like Hitler. And then he said, and she tells him, you're wrong. Like, you're wrong for that. And then he says, well, Kennedy loved Hitler, so it's okay. So Kerry said, okay, so you admire Hitler. That's what it seemed like. It seems like he was saying that Hitler was a good guy. Many Jews don't know. Are you saying that we would kill them all? Many Christians don't know. And then so Kerry was trying to make this point to him. Now there is an alternative theory that was brought to my attention that apparently, this is a theory, and I have not researched this. Churchill was the bad guy, saying that Hitler was the bad guy. And Churchill actually killed all these people and blamed it on Hitler. And Hitler was more like a Trump. Now that's just a theory. That's alleged. I have not researched that, but I'm just saying it's a possibility that I haven't looked into. But he was saying anybody who worships Satan has no room. But he was actually, like, even on the David Nino, he was actually denying the Holocaust and saying, like, the Holocaust didn't happen. Not like that. Like, Hitler didn't kill Jews. I think it's like Churchill did or someone else did and then blamed Hitler. I don't know if it's true or not. Don't attack me for that, please. But yeah, he's saying anybody who worships Satan has no room on our earth. All politicians will be gone. Bang, finish them, bang. Those were his words. Um, so, and then at the end of the interview, he said those who were deceived will be saved. So he seems to contradict himself. He's saying that, if the people didn't know, then they'll be saved. So he goes to the far extreme, saying they should all be gone. And then he backtracks and says at the end, those who were deceived will be saved. So I think he's actually saying that only the Khazarian mafia should be taken out like that. Not all of them, but when I watch his interview with Captain Kyle and when I watch his interview with David Nino, he's still doubling down. He's not backtracking. He's not changing his terminology. He's not making that distinction. He's not making that clarification between the Khazarian mafia that hid behind the Jews and the Jews. Like he's saying they should all go, and that's just not right. So I hope he does watch this video, and I hope he does start to make that distinction. Like I should hope that he's not advocating for innocent people to be killed. That's what my hope is. I hope he realizes that how he's coming off, it makes it look like he's trying to get innocent people killed. And also, if you want to, dive a little deeper, you can watch the Captain Kyle interview, which I will also share on my community tab. That where he says that Kerry should be in jail. Like he says that Kerry should be in jail because she's talking about these Satanist things and he doesn't know if she's a safe person. So I just find that interesting. Someone you just interviewed with and you said, and he's saying that he emailed his people and is saying that he recommends Kerry to go to jail. So, yeah, some of these claims are just a little out there, and we just want to be careful when we're pointing the finger for people to be executed, that we really know, if they're guilty or not. And that was one of the big things that him and Kerry really got into. She's like, "How do you decide who should live and who should die?" And he was saying that Jews have no souls. And she's saying, "You're saying all Jews have no souls?" And he's like, "Yeah. If they don't have a soul, they go. And she's like, what about children? And he seemed to double down on that. Um, but he did say at the end, like, those who were deceived will be saved. Um, there were a lot of low blows, there were a lot of assumptions made. He said that anybody who tries to exterminate our divine human species will go, which, yes, I agree with that. If they're trying to kill us, yeah, they need to go. He says Space Force knows, and she was, like I said, making the distinction, like, how do you decide who lives and who dies? Carrie's concern is that if they're going to put technology in charge of it, they're going to put it in the hands of an AI, then you're going to have a computer that decides who lives and who dies. Like, who's running the AI? That's a major concern, and that's something that he really didn't get into. He said, no, they have technology, and they have technology that knows every mosquito that crosses the Atlantic or whatever he says. And the mosquitoes don't fly unless the Space Force gives them permission. And it's just wild. So I'm almost done with this like wild roller coaster, and I want to get through this interview and then I want to be done with this. But yeah, he says they have technology that knows like who's guilty and who's not. Um, he says they left traces of their crime. So yes, in the end, he did say only the people that commit crimes should go, and those who practice those rituals should go. But then he, contradicted himself in most of the interview, and then he contradicted himself in interviews since then. So he's really not making that distinction between the Jews and the Khazarian mafia. I absolutely love and support my Jewish friends. And, they're just learning the truth just like us. And, they were, they all believed lies growing up, just like many of us who grew up in religious families. Like I didn't grow up in a religious family, but my dad was. So whenever I would go visit my dad, I'd go to Southern Baptist Church and, they'd tell you like all your good deeds are dirty rags. And I'm like, well, Dad, why would I even try to do good stuff if everything good I do is just a dirty rag? It's just like I never really got those answers. It never really made sense to me that God was so judgmental and God had so many rules. Like for me, God is love. And I just didn't identify with that. It didn't make sense to me. And my mom went the other way. So then I really found my spiritual path and being able to like find enlightenment and learning about the truth and going within. And I think that's the most important thing. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm at spiritually. And there's another phrase that he keeps making this phrase, which I should mention. He keeps saying, Comrade General Flynn, Comrade General Flynn. Well, comrade is a Nazi term. So I'm wondering if possibly something of what he's saying is trying to program us. So that's what I'm wondering now, because like he keeps saying some of these key words, and now I'm paying more attention to everyone on the whole. And I'm just wondering, like, if they're trying to program us in a certain way. So that's why I'm done with this. This is, I don't want to do another video on this. Um, I just wanted to put this out there, and I wanted these things to be said because I want everybody to know and understand what's being said by someone out there. And I don't want him to be able to discredit the whole movement by saying these outrageous things. So that's it. It's time to go. And I hope everybody has a good rest of your day. And I hope this was valuable to you. Definitely go watch that interview and let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that Pascal is right, or if you think that Kerry was right, or if you think that Kerry was too harsh, or let me know what you think because it was really explosive. Do you think that this was contrived? Do you think that because they do this sometimes, right? Where it's like one person will fight with another person and they do that like, just to get exposure. It seemed pretty real to me, but I can be gullible sometimes. So let me know below in the comments, and I'll see you guys another time. Everybody have a wonderful Sunday. Stay strong and keep your head up. And for me, I'm not going to worry about this anymore. I'm just going to have faith that like our better, brighter world is coming. The best is yet to come. And I'm excited for this great awakening, and sending love and light to all of you guys, and hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Bye, guys. Share this video.